to ask council if you're supportive, since the majority did support option number 3, of just including some of the positive points about option number 3, so that this, as our only record of our discussion, would be balanced. And I would say that that would include items such as option number 3 was the choice of South Huron, so we would be avoiding conflict with them. It was a new design, which was different from option 4 because option 4 was previously tendered, and it would protect us against litigation. It had redundancy to protect us if there was a breakdown of one of the trains, and it could still operate with extremely low winter flows. So if that's the will of council, I'm informed by staff that that can be included as well.
So we're going to add more
of the option 3. Of the option 3, discussion.
Are we going to add more of the other options comments as well? So you're moving that we change it, or you're moving it?
Well, there is a motion
the motion on the floor is to
would
be an amendment to the minutes, and you're going to move that we add more verbiage to the minutes. Councillor Underwood, are you seconding that, Councillor Monster?
I'll second it for discussion.
Okay. Councillor Elman?
I guess if that's the case, then I posed several questions that were concerned to me around both options. It's noted there, but questions aren't there. So if that's the case, I'd like them to do that.
I guess if we go back to our procedures, the minutes are to be recorded with those noted comments.
That's best.
Councillor Monster?
That's what I was going to suggest. I think Councillor Underwood made this point ages ago, and I had a nice chat with the clerk today about it, and I think the problem or the challenge that you have in your recording minutes is either you have put the full discussion down, or you just say there was discussion around the report, there was the motion, and it was carried. Because quite honestly, what has been reported, that Councillor Illman said, I take great exception to, because I see it as fear-mongering. I don't think you can tell people that, 20 years down the road, if we put in sewers, you're going to pay the full amount. We don't know that. There could be grant money down the road. We may never put in sewers. So I think when you start getting into the hyperbole and the rhetoric of minutes, and they become, inflammatory, I think we're better to err on the side of caution and just say there was discussion around this particular report, there was the motion, and it was carried. So I'm opposed to amending anything that puts more information, because there's already damage.
Okay. Russell,
my motion. I'll remove my motion.
Okay, so the motion is just to accept the minutes. Councillor Russell?
I'll go back to, we talked about this at strategic plan a year and a half ago, and less is better, because what you have is you have subjective comments, and subjective comments have the potential of having exactly what the deputy mayor is saying, and why are we redoing something we've already done? Like, to me, simplify it, get rid of all extraneous comments, just put what the report said, put the motions on, and get on with it, because we can argue this until we're blue in the face. We've argued it enough. Let's get on with it.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely the case. It either has to have none, or it has to include these points. So I guess to be safe and get consensus here, let's just remove all that verbiage. And any discussions about what the report said are in the agenda, so we don't even have to include that. Let's just say what we voted on and what the results of the votes were.
So, what's the motion now?
There's a motion.
Remove all the verbiage.
They withdrew their motion.
They withdrew the motion to amend the minutes. So the minutes are presented, and I think we have a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
We have a motion to accept the minutes.
As presented.
Well, it has to go then.
Yes, we have the motion Councilor Roman, you want to speak to it?
Well, I guess, does that mean then that we're going to revise the total agenda package? Is that what we're looking at here? And changing the way we do minutes totally, so we're going to do that like that tonight?
Councilor Scott?
I think that we get a large agenda every month. We get beautiful reports put together by our staff, who do a great job putting reports. I think there's too much stuff in it. I think we're wasting 173 pages, and a good deal of that is on the council minutes, and I think we put too much information in. I think we discuss it here, we have a report, we make a motion, and that's how it should be.
I think we're talking two different things. The reports, we're not eliminating the reports
No,
or
I wasn't
the
asking for
discussion.
reports. I was just saying they're good. That's what we use as a basis to make our decisions.
Councilor Monster?
Councilor McGuire, do you want to do a friendly amendment in this case that we accept the minutes with the amendment that we simply reflect that in discussion on report, DS report, S report 71-202, there was discussion around this report and the motion that this amendment was carried. You'll amend it for that? Does that do it?
So just an amendment for that motion that they.
For that portion of the minutes, they be, all the comments be taken out and just the motion be put in, there was discussion on this particular report, and there was a motion that was passed.
Okay. Is that okay with the seconder to make that amendment? I think you had seconded this motion.
The motion to accept the minutes is presented.
I think
I seconded to accept the
As
minutes
presented?
as presented.
I'll second this motion. The
There's
friendly amendment.
There's no one.
No, we'll have to withdraw. He's withdrawn.
I would like one motion on the minutes, please. Councilor Scott?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes, changing that one particular item to no verbal verbiage in there other than the report number, the motion, the seconder, and whether it was carried or not.
Seconded by Mayor David. Understand what we're doing? Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Oh, Councilor Russell?
If we're going to do that, I'd like to go to the point of having a discussion at the next council meeting about how we do it.
On the agenda.
All right.
Again,
Again.
again.
Okay. Okay. All in favor of the motion? Opposed? Motion's carried.
Mr. Mayor, just on a point of order, because we've been talking about rules, I think Councilor Ellman alluded to rules and whatever, and I completely agree with it. On August the 14th, I was a little confused about how you interpreted some of the rules, so just before we get into discussion tonight, there's just three things I want to ask you for clarification. Part 8 says that when a motion is brought forward after you recognize someone, that there is discussion if there is a seconder. But before we had the discussion on the report, you made two statements. You said, I'm not going to entertain any motions until the report is discussed, and I'm not going to invoke 7.4. So I'm just wondering under what authority you made that decision.
I asked council for that indulgence so that we could go through the
No,
report.
sir, you didn't, because I watched the WestShoreMedia account of that, because when I got home, I had missed the end of the meeting, and I watched the WestShoreMedia account, and you did not. You made a very emphatic statement that you were not accepting motions, and you would not invoke 7.4 until the report was discussed. So I'm just asking for clarification tonight. When will you entertain motions tonight? And are you asking council if they're going to observe 7.4? And it's important because if you don't take motions until after reports are discussed, then 7.4 is irrelevant. If you take motions before reports are discussed, then 7.4 is not irrelevant.